Good afternoon, Bloomington. It is Friday at 2:03 p.m. You're listening to WIUX LP Bloomington, and this is Growing Pains, the show where we do a lot of cool things, including interviewing local and touring artists. Today is actually my final show. I'm not tearing up just thinking about it. But I am joined in the studio with the perfect guest to help me to ring out such an exciting career here at the studio.
We're going to cry immediately.
Oh my God.
Everyone's happy. There are no tears. Y'all, this is the Matriarch. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for real.
Of course. I'm happy as you guys start this new chapter to kind of explore it. And I don't know, one door closes, another door opens, so it feels very fitting. But you guys just came out with your debut album. It dropped last night.
Yeah, it literally just came out.
Just
so
dropped.
Fresh.
Be safe, I love you. Congrats. We're going to listen to some of it. We got 6 songs to play off of it. Just tell me how you feel. That's such a easy question, but how are we feeling a couple hours hearing it out?
So emotional.
Yeah.
But I don't know what kinds. It's
Yeah.
like all of them.
It's like the mix of the excitement, but also like there's so many emotions in this album that I feel like I'm feeling all of them.
Yeah.
And it's like those
once.
range from like heavy, like life is hard, and then to wow, life is beautiful and we have our friends, and that's all we're just doing. So
Yeah.
it's a lot and hard to navigate, to be honest.
Yeah. But I'm glad you could come on here to talk about it. I know you had an album listening party last night. How was that? How was the company?
It was great.
It was
amazing.
It was perfect. We had everyone piled into our living room on our giant couch, and we sat really close to each other, snuggled up, and
Did a little dancing.
yeah, definitely some dancing. And Mal also made like lyric books so that when people
awesome.
were listening, they could read along and know what we were, saying. So that was really sweet
It was
too.
very sweet. We had a lot of champagne and cake.
Maybe too much.
Maybe a little too much champagne.
Funfetti cake,
Yeah, some
the
funfetti.
go-to.
Underrated.
We had some cowgirl hats and cat ears
Yes,
for
for Black Cat.
Black Cat Cowgirl. We were like, just in case anyone wants to dress up as a theme.
Yeah, we did make
And
everyone
then
put them on.
everybody did put them on. Yeah. It was perfect.
I did see footage of that last night, and I wasn't connecting the dots. I was like,
You're like, what's? It's a very interesting choice.
yeah.
Honestly, everybody that came, and none of them questioned it. Like,
No.
Al was like, who wants to wear some cat ears? And they all took them, put them on. It was
They're
awesome.
like,
And
We're in.
there weren't even black cats.
no, that weren't.
No,
They're
they're
a little.
See, that was what got me. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
actually little bum ears.
Got some foxes in the mix.
We needed cat ears last minute, and that's the best we
Yeah.
could do. Little bub ears.
We also
Thank you,
just
Trevor.
love a theme. We love a theme. We love a bit, like something for everybody to be in on
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
We just love it. So it was
Yeah.
perfect.
And good to draw from the imagery of your album, too. Those are some easy things to check
Right?
off. We are not listening to that song today, which is devastating, but it's out.
Go stream
It
it.
is.
You just have to go stream it.
Single.
But we will be listening to a lot of others, 2 that were singles and 4 that you might be hearing for the first time if you haven't listened to the album yet.
It's exciting.
Before we jump in, I would love for you guys, though, to introduce yourself individually. Who are you? I'll start us off.
Me, I'm Al or Allison, and I'm the main vocalist for our band right now.
Beautiful.
And also aux percussion.
Oh yeah, I do a little cowbell.
Yeah.
Miss Allison on
You
the
hear that cowbell,
Oh,
Black Cat
yeah.
Cowgirl? That's Al.
That's me.
Come to a show, you'll get to see that in action.
Yeah. So yeah, you better be at our release show on May 11th at the
Yeah.
Bishop, because
Plug.
you'll be able to see Allison on that cowbell in real time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You want to see it? I
You
guarantee.
can't miss it. Everyone's gonna be talking about it.
We're also missing one of our band members, though. Trevor, he has to work today.
Yeah.
So I'm also Trevor today.
So perfect. Yeah.
Trevor, what do you do?
Trevor plays the keys and
Keyboards.
sometimes guitar and synth and just whatever
Tambourine?
he possibly wants. It's very
Yeah.
versatile.
He also did co-produce the record. So,
Amazing.
anyways, my name is Mal, one of the Mals, and I play the drums, and I do lots of management.
Oh, yeah, manager now.
You're next.
Okay, I can be next.
We're going in line.
Well, I know that's okay. I'm Joe. I'm the bassist, and I'm moral support. I feel like I needed another job.
Yeah.
You are
you've played-
stage
you've
presence.
played the
I'm
flute.
stage presence.
And you've done
My
flute.
job's- and flute. I did play
yeah.
There's a
flute.
little
there's
flute
some
after we listened to
yeah.
Seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't think was that cool, and then everyone was like, "Joe, what?" It
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It was. I love that. It's a little surprise.
It's a good talent.
I'm Mal, also. I'm Mal Senior. If you need a way to differentiate us, I'm Mal Senior. I play the guitar, and then our drummer Mal is Mal Junior.
Because
So-
they're both Mal B, so you
Yeah.
can't even go last name.
Yeah.
So we've taken to Junior and Senior, so
right.
it works pretty well.
Yeah.
Formally.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your introductions. Hopefully everyone's got that committed to memory, order and
There will be a
everything.
quiz.
There will be a quiz. I want to open with the opener track from the album, Open Up, which just feels like a very fitting way to kick things off. Do you have any preliminary thoughts, or should we just play it and talk about it?
Get ready to party.
Yeah.
Get ready to party.
Yeah, I think this track is just like exactly what it says it is.
Yeah.
We're just inviting you to open up in this listening experience.
Awesome. Well, without further ado, Open Up by the Matriarch. Enjoy.
We got something on our minds. Always weaker, like something we can find. Right in front of your eyes, no material size. All we got is love, so why don't you just open up? Just love, love.
And we're back. That was Open Up by the Matriarch. It starts a little sooner than that, but we had some technical difficulties. It's all good. I love this because I'm such an album girl, and I love an album that tells a story, and that's what Welcome to the Matriarch did to me. And you paint a picture, you take us through, and you're doing it again. So tell us just a little bit about in constructing like a story. Like, what is the ethos of this album? What were you trying to achieve specifically as well with this first track?
Anybody want to go?
You go.
Well, one thing that was different about this one than Welcome to the Matriarch is we had a lot more songs before we kind of started to realize like what was happening. But Open Up gave us like a really good starting place when we were trying to figure out like what the overarching like storyline was, just because we tried to figure out like where would we be at the end of Welcome to the Matriarch. Like, okay, we've welcomed you here, like what's next? And like for us it was like taking that next step of like really opening yourself up. And that's like what all these songs are, like Joe was saying, like these songs we definitely like had to reach further into our experiences and into ourselves to like get that out, which definitely like took our songwriting like way farther. But one thing that we started noticing with all of these songs is like the imagery, or like we were finding like doors in all the songs. So for a little bit we were thinking of calling the album Open Up, and that's why we have like that knock at the beginning of it, because we wanted it to like literally be like you are going through this door and it's like a transformation. And we have so much about like change and growing up, and so that's like this step of the process that like kind of this whole album is like that opening and going through. And when you get to Backseat, it kind of ends in the same note where it's like we reference our own song in Backseat to end up with that same line that's like open up to all that is waiting. So this album, like we had a lot of like exploring like things in the past and like current feelings, and then we just kind of wanted to leave it like when you make that entrance and you go through that transformation to like what is next, like, because we don't know, like we don't know either. So
definitely the way it all happened so naturally, like you said, like it was almost like the album was written and then we were like, wait, this is a story. Like it just happened so naturally. And then Backseat Nostalgia was like one of the last songs that we wrote, and like when we wrote that line, open up to all that is waiting, like we didn't even realize what we were doing, and then we were like, whoa, like I feel like that we had so many of those moments. We just started realizing that like in a lot of the songs there's like references to like, I mean, like literally doors. Haunted house would like have a door, and we're like windows. The man upstairs, like just like different things where we were like, this is all like to us, it's like it literally is being placed in this like place again. That's how Welcome to Matriarch was too. Like we imagine as like a physical place where we're welcoming you to, and now it's like you're kind of in this place, and it's like here's a door, there's a door, there's a door. Choose your door.
Yeah, like not only that, but like blindly taking the step towards like what's coming next, because change is so scary, and you can make a decision, and you really don't ever know what's on the other side of that. And I think that is part of this, is like trust yourself, trust the process.
Yeah. You can't leave the door closed.
You can't leave the door closed.
You gotta open it up.
What's I mean, you guys have just gone through a lot of changes, life changes. Everyone's out of school now. Trevor is officially part of the band. When last time I don't think he was. How do you, like, what's been the biggest changes in your life, and what have you tried to communicate? Like, has there been a certain thing going on in your life that you've tried to communicate in your lyrics somewhere throughout this album?
It's kind of crazy because, like, we wrote a lot of these songs so long ago. And so when you write them, you think of something specific, and now it's like how many months later?
It's like totally different.
Yeah, like it applies to like a completely different thing in my life. Like when we wrote the album, I was still working full time, like at my STEM engineering job, and I like had no idea that I actually wouldn't be working there when the album came out. But then like so much of it actually does apply to that situation.
Super cool. Well, it's exciting. It's exciting. And you've taken some big steps and been on tour and stuff as well, and been kind of showing the album to all different places. What's that been like to kind of reach new people? Because you guys have been such an institution of Bloomington, but what's it like to reach out and find these other people?
Oh my God, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Like touring and being an independent artist is so hard, especially like getting your foot out the door. Like I feel like when we first started trying to book shows, it felt impossible, like outside of Bloomington, outside of Indiana. But then once you start doing it, it definitely like gets easier. But meeting new people, like every show is so different, and like the crowd is always so different, and you just never know what to expect. Like you could have a packed crowd that kind of like doesn't really look interested, or like doesn't give you the energy you're hoping to get, or you're just not communicating it well, or the other way around where you have like 5 people but like you can tell that they're really connecting with you, and like so there's just different levels of fulfillment to shows, I feel like. But we've been having a great time on the road. I love being on tour. It's very tiring, but like it's so rewarding, and we've met a lot of cool people. I feel like one of our favorite shows so far was in Louisville. just
No
such
one told me
beautiful people.
Louisville was so awesome. I'm like still upset that it was so fun.
But now we know.
But now we know.
And you can go back.
Yeah.
My dad actually just told me that they drove through there and was like, you should really find yourself in Louisville. And I was like, all right, Dad. But
Gotta check it out. Yeah.
all the cool kids are saying the same
the
thing.
cool
So we'll head on to the next song, Rain Song, a companion perhaps to Sun Song.
Counterpart.
Don't know where I got that idea from. Any initial thoughts about the song before we get into it?
Well, we did write it partially because of the fact that it kept raining every time we'd play Sun
Like a
Song.
year ago. Yeah.
And then I think it was maybe Mal's idea to be like, what if we wrote a rain song? And then everyone was just like, oh my gosh, here's all these lyrics that we have, and compiled them together. And we're like, whoa, we have Rain Song.
Here's Rain Song.
Then it went through some changes, and now it's this like very slow, melodic, emotional song, which is the contrast Sun Song.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It is a companion, like, in the way that you have to have both. And, like, there is a couple lines, like, in this. There is a line that says, like, something about, like, the sun, like, still shining through in Rain Song. Because I do feel like that's something that we have learned, like, as we grow. Like, you have to have both. Like, it can't just be sun all the time. And also, like, if it was, it wouldn't be that special when the sun did come out.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to have the rain also. And, yeah, just, like, also, like, accepting that is a lot of what Rain Song's about, too. Like, accepting that, yeah, it's probably going to rain a lot of time when you have a show. But then when the sun comes out for us to play Sun Song, like, it just feels even better, so.
Yeah. Has there been every time you play Rain Song, is sunny outside?
it's been
Pretty good. This spring we did have, like, once we wrote that song, it did kind of stop raining. We had shows.
Yeah, and then every time when we would explain it, we'd be like, well, we wrote the songs every time we played, there would be rain, but now there's no rain, so now telling the story feels a little silly.
Still good to know the origins, though. I'm sure some of your words had something to do with the weather, but we'll get into it. This is Rain Song, the Matriarch. Enjoy.
Swore I'd never try to miss you. Always looking for something bigger. Never filling the holes that you dig. Sand piling in, and now you can't swim. You gotta love, you got to hold me up. Never bluffing, always crying on the bathroom floor. Need you like the grass needs raindrops on my window. Memories flow as the river goes. Can't help but follow the bend. Gotta let it go with the breath of the next wind. Can't feel how a sun can still shine through. Only hidden, always lit. do better. Falls on a day I could do better.
And we're back. That was Rain's song, The Matriarch. I think this is just a wonderful example of kind of all the new sounds that you've brought onto this album. I'm so impressed by the strings, the synths, the vocals across from everybody. Lots of like hallmarks of your sound, but you also expand like so greatly. Tell me about when it came time, like you're writing these songs and you have the five of you who, you know, you have your instruments. Were there discussions like we should like grab this person to play on it? Or could you like hear a part? Like how did you know to bring in other people for the recording of this album?
Yeah, I do want to quick shout out our friend Delia Lee. She did all the strings on this album. I played Ultimate Frisbee with her, and she just finished her master's with violin here at the Jacobs School, and is just so incredibly talented. Like I listened to this album, and I'm like, dude, this wouldn't have been the same without you.
Yeah.
But we were like, I think it was Mal Jr.'s idea to have strings on a couple of the songs, and I was like, guys, I have a friend.
I know.
I know a guy. And like, I could not have been like, you know, sometimes you invite people and it doesn't quite turn out how you want it to, and other times you're just like blown away.
Yeah.
And she just, I think, like totally blew over our expectations.
Yeah.
It was so wonderful.
It was amazing.
And her energy just like matched ours like so nicely, which is the best. She's a Capricorn.
Let me say.
So she came over and was like hanging out in our music room in the basement, like writing the parts, and it was just like so comfortable and easy.
Yeah.
And it was fun in the studio, like she just kept, we would like, Seasons has a ton of strings too, and we would like talk about, it was like me, Mal, and Damien and Delia, and we would like talk about like 4 or 5 bars, and she would be like, okay, something like this, and we'd be like, yeah, and then she would just go back in and like do it in like one take, and then she would come back in and we'd figure out the next part.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was so much fun. Yeah, I think when again, like realizing we needed strings kind of happened so naturally. Like I feel like I had that melody idea for Rain's song, and like I just knew it had to be played on something, and we were like, well, maybe strings. And then we knew we wanted Seasons to be like the middle part, just have so many different instruments coming in, and we were like, okay, strings would work there too. And then Trevor had like a melody idea for Backseat, and was like, oh, strings would work with it. Just all was like, it happened pretty naturally.
As far as anybody else on the album, like the only other people on, our friend Tam sings on Pure Love, and that was like, I don't know, we just like discovered that they could sing. I
really
feel like
well.
Yeah, and we were just like the main thing is at the end, like Al is doing all these like riffs and stuff, and we wanted some like big like
almost
angelic like, sounding
type
and we just knew, and that was like probably the only time we've had someone like on the outside come and like sing on something, so we didn't even know how it would like go or how we would feel, and like it's so nice now to like listen and have that additional like texture. And then when Tam was doing Pure Love, we also had them come on Open Up because our friend Molly, who is Tam's partner, like they were just both there, and we were working on Open Up next, and we were like, you guys should just be on this
Open
too.
Up has a bunch of party noises.
Yeah.
You guys just want to come in and talk with this mic.
Which was so fun. Like we were just like all standing in the live room, like in a big circle, just like talking and singing and like partying.
Woo! Yeah.
It was cute.
So silly.
And then Damien plays on the album. Like there's a couple synth parts. There's like
percussion.
there's aux percussion.
Damien would like,
and like he does
constantly-
play guitar in Rain Song too, like that like little like picky kind of sounding part. And that was like super natural because it was just like we were in the studio and he came up with a part, or like we were like, you should just go do it. Like there's no point in one of us like learning it.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you? He like had this bongo part for Open Up. He's like, here, you. I'm like, no, you
just
already
go
know
do
what
it.
it is. Get in there.
Which was really special because we just love him. And when we recorded the EP with him. He didn't mix that one. He just like tracked it. And I'll like never forget the moment where like once we had finished and he did like rough mixes to send to the engineers who did mix it. And we were like, well, like, what do you think? And he was like, I wish that I could like finish this with you.
He's like,
And that like, I think that boosted our confidence so much in that
Kind of
moment.
bummed out that.
Yeah. And so then to like work with him on the record and actually have him like be so involved, we were just like, I was so happy about that.
Yeah. What was kind of the timeline of when you were like, let's get and record?
Oh my God. I think I was
insane.
talking to someone about this last night. I think we went into the studio to record Seasons, Pure Love, and Black Cat in March of 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was like our first time getting in the studio for it.
Yeah,
But
because we were just kind of available on like weekend little blocks. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like we would be working and it would be hard to like call off. So we would just go in, do a few songs, and then we would go in a different weekend
Save up
and do
more
a
money.
few songs.
Yeah.
play a bunch of gigs, save more money, go back, blow all our money away.
Yeah,
in the
it was a
studio.
grind. We would have like weeks where we would play like 2 or 3 shows like around town, and then like that weekend like be in the studio.
Yeah.
Because it is expensive.
Yeah.
But
Oh my God.
Yeah, we don't save, or no, we save all of the money that we make. Like none of us have ever like seen personally a dime from like any of the shows that we've done. So we've just thrown it in a bank account, and that's how we pay for our recordings and stuff.
Wow,
So
yeah.
we're really lucky that
And
it doesn't
tour.
have to come out of pocket or anything.
Yeah, and that we were able to like play enough shows in the fall.
Yeah.
So it took all the way from March, and then we had like 2 sessions in the summer, and then 1 in the fall, and then a mixing session in like late October, November. And then Trevor did like a couple weeks of like mixing at home, and then it got mastered like right at the beginning of December.
Yeah.
And after that, we were like, pedal to the metal, we're putting this out in March.
But
Yeah.
we started writing Seasons like forever ago, and then after we recorded those first 3, we just like we had most songs almost done.
Yeah. Seasons and Black Cat, we actually played at the EP release show.
Yeah.
We had written them that long ago.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is a while ago.
But they were nowhere, like Seasons was nowhere near its final form.
Oh God,
then.
no.
We've had it so much since then.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's always good to test.
Yeah.
Every time you play it, you
We
want
love to do that. Like
something
a
new,
song
yeah.
will be pretty far from being finished, to be honest. So like not far in the sense like it just needs to be fine tuned, and we'll be wanting to play live. And I feel like Trevor's always the one that is like, "Are you sure we're ready?" And we're like,
who cares? Let's do
We're like, whatever, let's just do it.
At Burning Couch last year, we played Lifeline for the first time, and it was kind of a disaster.
No, but we just
We
are
were like, let's see what happens.
we set high goals for ourselves, and we just
Yeah.
make it work.
And it's like whatever. If you flop on one song at a random show because it's new,
cares?
like nobody remembers it.
now
And then
those-
we
yeah.
learn a lot about the song. Like
Yeah.
we sped it up way more. And Trevor, he at that point he played guitar on it too. We did 2 guitars, but then he like wrote synth parts.
Yeah.
And we added like backup vocals to the choruses, like and the counter melody at the end. Like we added so much to it after that.
So it all works out in the end,
Yeah.
and it sounds beautiful on the album. So who can complain? Let's hit Seasons. Let's listen to it. We might go. Well, we'll see. We'll play Seasons, and then we'll see where we'll go afterwards. But this is Seasons by the Matriarch. Enjoy.
Didn't seem to know you before I left you, so I told you you were my favorite sweater. Big holes just made a bed in. Didn't think there'd be any harm in a place so warm. All before we had it all, though every day grew nearer. Looking past, I never asked your heart out grew those years. Didn't think there'd be any harm in a place so warm. But next winter came suddenly. I'm shivering, your sweater's hanging up untouched. Coming home, I haven't called. New paintings on the wall. The numbers changed, new parking space. You were here before the fall. My brother's far, I'm a star. Reflections start to change. You got your hair and what you wear. My thoughts rearrange. Growing pains, mental state alters every spring. High school ends, Facebook friends, all with wedding rings. Freckles fade, summer's day, smile maybe grin. Fashion sense, borderlands to fit the mood I'm in. Fireflies and first goodbyes, barefoot by the pool. Gravel becomes asphalt, my morning drive to school. The seasons come round and round, I'm shedding skin, I'm giving in. You're all alone, looking for a hug. It follows me through the ebbs and flows. Life is always changing, never slow enough. And when you least expect it, you just might fall in love. And what if I told you there's nothing you can do about it?
That was Seasons, the Matriarch. This is our, we've reached the halfway point of our show. By the way, you're listening to Growing Pains on WIUX. I'm here with the Matriarch. We're discussing their new album, Be Safe, I Love You. So that's exciting. That was a beautiful song. Tell me, we talked a little bit about recording, but so you were saying off the air that writing started pretty soon after the EP released. Did you have any, like, obviously the EP is beautiful, but did you like ever reflect on it afterwards and have like goals based off of the EP that you wanted to accomplish in the album, or did you like how do you feel about the EP now being over a year removed from it, and like what lessons did you take from that when making this album?
Honestly, I feel like making the EP just like showed us what we're capable of. Like,
I agree.
We were so fresh. Like, we had only recorded Best Wishes, like, and we're still so new. And we just like went in the studio and made this, and like every little random idea we had of like aux percussion or an extra part here, and like Al's doing harmonies, whatever, like everything just worked. And so then I feel like when we started the album, we were like, okay, well, if we could do all of that, and we were such babies, like think about what we can do now.
So
and I
real.
still feel like there's nothing that I would change about it. Like that was like perfect. We like did so well for where we were at then.
Yeah, because we were still really new musicians at that point too.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like the EP was kind of like getting our foot like at least stuck in the door, and we were like, okay, now we can experiment more, and we don't say no to things, and we are just really like open to anything that comes our way. Really, I feel like.
Yeah. Just as individual musicians, instrumentalists, was there anything new that you tried on the album, or anything that, like, I feel like we all have our own habits of things that we gravitate towards when we write, or, you know, certain riffs, but was there anything that you felt like any habits you broke out of, or new things you tried when it comes to your specific parts on the album? Like, Al, anything vocally you did that surprised you that maybe you wouldn't have done a year ago?
One,
so much.
Just like singing in front of people is still
Yeah, sure.
I'm learning. But I think that a really big theme in the studio is just like, I'm a Virgo, and Virgos are known for being perfectionists, and I think that especially in your craft, you want it to come across the exact way that it's in your head, and sometimes your vocals don't exactly do that. Sometimes your body has
It's out of your
limits.
control.
So I feel like just like letting go of the idea of like something being perfect, and maybe it is just like perfect with the little mistakes that, or like the things that you see as mistakes. So for me, it was like just trusting the process and inviting, like, if other people were just like, oh, I think that sounded good, and I'm like,
There was
you sure about that? I'm like, I don't know.
There's literally a part Al was like, oh, I hated that, and I'm like, Al, I loved that take part in the
I know,
album.
so
like,
real.
sorry, but you're not allowed to redo it.
Yeah. I feel like I got better at like taking notes from other people. Like, I mean, obviously being not a man that's like very new at drumming for a long time, like anytime a man gives you a note, it feels like patronizing. But yeah, but I feel like in the studio, like, yeah, like Trevor wrote the drums to Lifeline, and Damien gave me like a lot of drum notes for the season's interlude. Like Mal was in there with me helping me write it, and I just feel like I've gotten so much better at like collaborating that way, and I like that so much more. Like I like when we can all work together to produce a sound instead of like just being on our own instruments. And I also like got to sing a lot, which was so fun, and I love doing background vocals. I love the way that like our voices sound together, and it was so fun.
Yeah.
I feel like one big thing for me was, like, Damien and Trevor both are, like, way better guitar players than me. Like, they've been playing for years. Like, they can just, like, whip out any solo, whatever, like, really fast. And so it would be, like, a little bit scary sometimes. Like, I just had to really, like, go in it and, like, give it my best every time and just, like, be willing to get over that fear of like, oh my God, they want to change a part right now. Like, am I going to be able to do it? And like, just try.
Yeah.
And most of the time you surprise yourself and you actually can do it pretty quick and like get a good take. And being able to just like, yeah, like sometimes we would be listening to a song and Damien would be like, maybe we should add something here. I would be like, oh, I feel like we need another guitar. And the three of us would like go in the live room. And for them, it's like super quick to figure out like what notes we should play for each chord, whatever. And I'm definitely like a little bit slower, but I like that just showed me how much you can learn by just like being there in the room with people that are better than you and just like going for it. Because I definitely like, I feel like my chops like definitely improved like so much in that time period, like May to October, like playing and trying to write these solos and keep up with them. Like it definitely was like, I just had to go for it. Yeah, and same even with gear stuff, it's the same way. Like they can talk in this way where they're talking about pedals and amps and which guitar to use. And it's a lot to like, if you haven't been doing it for years, like to keep up with, but just like by faking it in the conversations and being like, okay, yeah, like what about that guitar to get this tone? And maybe we should turn the amp up really loud and put it in that room. Like just suggesting things and going along with it. Like I learned so much doing that.
Cool. Joe, anything from you?
I feel like you kind of had similar. Like Damien was always giving you bass parts, and you were just like, okay, I'll try and play it.
It made me feel like I was such a like I knew I've always, I shouldn't say always, I have felt like I'm a good bass player, and like I try to remind myself like, hey, you're a good bass player, but then like it was so cool having the experience where Damien was like, what if you tried this? And the fact that I could just play it instead of having to practice it to make it good. And I was like, oh my gosh, when was I able to do this?
Yeah.
I can do that.
So that was really cool. And then the other thing that was crazy was like Rain's song, learning how to not play like something crazy all the time. Like I love writing melodic bass lines.
Yeah.
But like I would cut notes out of it, and then Mel was like, you need to cut more. And I was like, okay, cut more. And Mel was like, okay, but can you play less? I'm like, I have to play less.
It was so hard.
It was, I like cried over it. Like I did not want to have it, like I play whole notes for most of that song, and I wouldn't want it any other way. It just took so much for me to like.
A lot of convincing.
I know.
A lot of
afterwards,
convincing.
you're like, thank you guys so much for like.
It helped when we realized you needed to be in the same, like the drop D.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, we made that discovery of alternate tuning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New discovery. No one's ever done it before.
That's always like that's a second album, second project type of thing.
Yeah.
If you come out with that on your first project, you're no.
Exactly.
You're too early. You're too early. Well, those are all beautiful lessons. Opening yourself up, taking feedback. Very cool. I would love to play I mean, the people love it. Killing Time. I love it. Connor McLaren loves it.
Yeah, you better release this as a single.
We'll talk about the message post playing the song. But this is Killing Time, the Matriarch. Enjoy.
I've got about 70 years. On this ride I'd like to conquer my fears. Not just about you and me. Thinking maybe something like harmony. Men upstairs are making change, while the people I love are doing the same. One's about greed and it's my money, while we smoke weed and worry about the honeybees. No longer in the trees. Can't you see how destructive we can be? Why, hey, dear love, so afraid, make up what's above. We're all just killing time. Kids in court, fighting their wars, begging for a future that's just like yours. Talking about free and brave. Are you proud we got one foot in the grave? For all the hate and hurt and grief, what do we have if not belief? They view the world through closed eyes, while we get high and sing about the butterflies. No longer in disguise in my life. I know always I'll try. Why, hey, dear love, so afraid, make up what's above. We're all just killing time. Why, hey, dear love, so afraid, make up what's above. We're all just killing time. Fill myself up with autumn leaves, clinging to the hope of a sunny breeze. If beauty can't save the trees, how could it ever save me? Why, hey, dear love, so afraid, make up what's above. We're all just killing time. Why, hey, dear love, so afraid, make up what's above. We're all just killing time. Why, hey, dear love, so afraid, make up what's above. We're all just killing time. Why, hey, dear love, so afraid, make up what's above. We're all just killing time.
And we're back. I already forgot. That was Killing Time. Sorry, we're discussing the next song. Killing Time by the Matriarch. You've talked pretty extensively on the Instagram story about what the song is about, but if you wouldn't mind sharing, somebody, just what does the song mean to you?
The first verse of this song, I wrote it Griffey Lake, or Lake Griffey, however you want to say it.
Beautiful.
We live up in the woods there, so that area is pretty important to us. But all of us are very climate-minded and environmentally conscious, so I would say that, like, we've always wanted to do, like, an ode to that, like, passion of ours. And so I'd say that this song is, like, us, like, dipping our toe in that. So it's kind of just, like, thinking about the climate crisis, and it's hard to even try and like fathom your part in that. Both like how you can help and also like how you are also adding to the deterioration of our source of life. So I'd say that the song is about like trying to deal with that and like all of the other like heartaches of the world, that it's just like an all-encompassing like I'm here, I'm observing it, and I will do my best, kind of.
But it's so uplifting at the end. It's like crazy how, I don't know, you find like joy and solidarity with
I
each other.
really like to, like Wet Legs album ends with the song Too Late Now, and it's very like, that song is a party sad song. Like you could be sobbing, and it's about like just some really heavy emotions. And I feel like this is how the end of Killing Time goes, is it's like, yeah, we're all together, but like it kind of is like defeating at the same time. And it's like let's just cry together. Let's just admit these emotions. Yeah.
It's always like felt good to like have that, like whenever we play it, like I feel like it feels good to just be able to like share that with the crowd, because it is like, yeah, I mean, literally we're just admitting it, like I'm so afraid, like we don't know, this is all we've ever known. Also, like being this age, like is like living in the climate crisis and like knowing that that's what our future holds, and also just like everything else going on in the world, like we've just always been living like constantly with these things happening, and at the same time, like we're young, like we also want to just hang out with our friends and like do stuff like that, and balancing both. Like, yeah, like you have to like have the joy of like, well, I guess we'll just keep killing time, but at the same time, like, yeah, then when we start to talk about it or think about it too much, it's like we are afraid. Yeah, and so it feels good to admit that and also just like sing it together.
Yes. Yeah.
It kind of gives fight song in a way.
Kind of. It's an interesting thing because it's like, it feels like that, but at the same time, like there's no real like call to action, you know, like it's just kind of that like coming together.
Yeah.
And just being like, we don't really know, like,
Yeah,
but at least we're here
we can be together and figure it out. Yeah, and like earlier you were asking about like kind of threads through the album and like the storytelling, and I do feel like fear and like learning to like deal with and overcome fear is like a huge part of the record. And like the chorus specifically, it's like, why hate, dear love, so afraid, make up what's above. And I wrote that because I was just thinking about like, we all are afraid of the same stuff. Like everyone really is, and we're all just trying to figure everything out. And everyone just does it in different ways. Like, you know, like make up what's above, like that just makes like, it's about people who like grasp onto religion and like hold on to those values like so hard so that they don't have to like face all the other stuff that's going on. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, of course. Yeah, no, it's not everyone. But yeah, I just feel like the album is so much about like choosing love over fear. So yeah, of the coming together instead of like, I mean, yeah, we could still be afraid, but there's a different way to be afraid.
And we always just like to write about our connection to like the natural world and explore our emotions through that, which is obviously also happening in this song. And yeah, we also do that a lot in like Seasons and Rain Song, maybe even more, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the explanation. I very much appreciate it. I want to hit one final song before we play us out. But this is Haunted House, not a single. What can you tell us about this one?
I would say, like, what we were just talking about with Killing Time, like, Haunted House is kind of like the answer, the pair. To me, Haunted House is kind of like the pair of Killing Time, but it's, like, all inward. It's, like, the acceptance of the fear you have, like, of your own insecurities and your past versions of yourself. And, it has the same kind of feeling at the end. I'm like out of breath. It has the same kind of feeling at the end where it's just an acceptance of, yeah, it's like me and my ghosts, like these past versions of myself are always going to exist, and you have to kind of like accept it and live with it. And just that same kind of like accepting the fear of what's to come and what has happened, and just like living with it and loving yourself and pointing everything that we've also pointed outwards, like very deep internally too.
Awesome.
So out of breath.
It was an awesome explanation, though. I'm glad you were able to say it. This is Haunted House, The Matriarch. Let's enjoy. Bye.
They say people never change, happens to me every day. I can't stop until I'm free of this place I used to be. Halfway to my grave, to haunting my own ways. I could sit and watch the tapes, call it spiritual escape. She floats and follows me, ghost of my own reality. Don't you wanna live this life? Don't you wanna say you tried to make it home without an invitation? But I'm just wasting all this time. My own expectations aren't enough to make it out of this haunted house. Try to call, but I don't know her. Think I'll be fine. It's getting cold. Can't help but feel alone. Sick of my own reflections. Just a shadow of roles played long ago. I'm counting down days in this old town. Can find the calm again. Now and then I know there's a place for me in your eternity. Is this the afterlife, or do I still have to try to make it home without an invitation? But I'm just wasting all this time on expectations aren't enough to make it out of this haunted house. Try to call, but I don't know her. Think I'll be fine. Just getting cold. They say that misery loves company, so at least I know I'll never be lonely. Just me and my ghosts. They say that misery loves company, so at least I know I'll never be lonely. Just me and my. They say that misery loves company, so at least I know I'll never be lonely. They say that misery loves company, so at least I know I'll never be lonely.
And we're back on the air. That was Haunted House. Stop looking at me.
Play backseat. I feel like we need to for
Yeah.
you. That's like so. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
We'll play us out with Backseat. But we've kind of reached time, I suppose. I want to give you a space if you have any shout outs or anything to plug, anything that you didn't get the chance to say, please.
Oh my gosh.
Now's your
Yeah,
time.
I want to say really quick, we were talking off air about the title, and I just want to give a shout out to my mom because she bought us like a over the door decal that says "Be safe, I love you" for our house, and it has been there since we moved in, but we like didn't think of it as a title until like way later, and it just fits so well. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, for the legal advice.
So true.
Thank you, Damien.
Yeah, Damien Shirley. He's like our engineer, produced, mixed, master, or he didn't master. Mike Brodowski
Mike,
mastered. We did the whole thing at Russian Recording, a little bit of home.
Thank you, Delia.
Yeah, thank you to
Yeah.
Delia.
For all the album
Yeah,
art.
Zoe.
Hayden did our
Hayden Johnson
photo
does our
shoot,
photos.
cover art.
Yeah, and we're playing an album release show next weekend, Saturday, May 11th, at the Bishop with Amy O, which is really special to us. It's a double album release too, so Amy's album comes out next week on Friday. Listen to that when it comes out, and yeah, come
And
to
thank
that
you,
show.
Natalie.
And
Thank you,
thank you, Natalie.
Natalie.
Natalie has been a longtime supporter, and
Actually played a huge role.
Yeah.
in
Also,
our
Natalie
life.
did write us our Spotify bio, and like we use it for bios for lots of things, but it's very beautiful.
should
So
read
Natalie
it.
did have a little part in this whole
Yeah.
thing too, because
Thanks for
that was
letting
really
me. Thank you so much. I'm trying to find the track right now, so if you have anything more to say.
Okay, who else? There's more people to thank, probably.
Oh, definitely.
all of our families.
Thank you, Girls Rock Bloomington.
Yeah, anybody from Girls Rock.
Yeah.
We were saying the other day, like, Mal was on the phone with one of our friends, Brittany, and we were like, we actually couldn't have made this album without our friends because we probably would have all gone off the deep end. by
Yeah,
now.
literally, like, you need someone to
Yeah.
talk to that isn't so deep in this
Yeah.
the same project.
So all of our friends and family, whoever's listening,
Yeah.
you also have made this album.
For real.
You're a big
no
part of
Be
it.
Safe, I Love You without
Yeah.
you.
And I just want to say that there's like so much going on in the world right now, and I'm very grateful
Yeah.
that we put this out and that it's all about love.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will always use our music to inspire love.
Yeah.
We have it. Okay.
Wow, I can't believe there was a moment of almost silence.
I had to search through like 90 songs to find it, but we found it. Well, thank you, Matriarch, for sharing your music. It's just, I don't know, you feel like the perfect group to end this chapter with because there's been so much growth that I've gotten to witness, and I've stopped.
I'm so
You just embody all the things that I try to embody, and
Oh, you do embody.
we're embodying. And I don't know, these past few years have been crazy for just so many reasons, and I feel like I'm just glad to know you, and it's just, I don't know. So thank you for for helping me. Thank you for sending me off. But I'll be around.
Yeah.
And you'll be around.
Yeah.
We'll all be around. So the music will live on. Okay, this is Backseat Nostalgia. I've been Natalie. Thanks, WIUX. It's been a joy, so enjoy.
We love you.
You guys.
We love you.
All right, goodbye.
Like a daydream in the rear view, I just wanna be near you. sinking again. Open up to all that is waiting. Got caught and pushed off the deep end. After all, my love must be leaving. I'm packing that it's sinking again. Open up to all that is waiting. Got caught and pushed off the deep end. After all, my love must be leaving. I'm packing that it's sinking again. Open up to all that is waiting. Got caught and pushed off the deep end. After all, my love must be leaving. I'm packing that it's sinking again. Open up to all that is waiting.